Thursday, July the 4th, 2024, Independence Day in America, and the way the polling booths were reverberating this morning, you'd think we were in a similar position. Don't get too excited, it's a false hope. Nothing will significantly change just by changing the colour of those in Westminster, unfortunately. Anyway, I'm down in Essex today, at the end of the line in Southminster, about to undertake either 6.5 or 9 miles, depending on my progress, around an area that I've had my eye on for a little while, a tranquil part of the Essex coast, not far from the former nuclear power station at Bradwell. This is a country walking magazine walk, Bradwell-on-Sea, circular, composed by my old favourite Phoebe Taplin, so obviously there's a bit of road walking involved, but that's the section that I would like to cut out. Depends if the marshes are flooded, and I won't know that until I get well, probably 5 mile in. But yeah, I'd like to extend this walk today because we've got some good weather, which is partly why I'm down here. However, as you can possibly hear, we are catching the tail end of the Caribbean hurricanes. We're going to have some pretty breezy conditions today, and it is very flat down here. Today's walk ranges from 0 feet to around 15, I think it is. Let me just check that. Well, I can't confirm that at the moment, but I will do. It's not very high anyway, so we should make good progress. From this station I'm actually getting a bus. This is Southminster, but I get a bus to Bradwell-on-Sea as the walk starts at the King's Head pub. So I should be there around 1 o'clock, and I anticipate 4 hours if I do the 9 mile version, and that is significant because the bus back is around 5 o'clock from the same pub. So let's see what awaits. Pretty decent temperature, around 20 degrees at the moment, freshened up by this westerly breeze, so perfect for getting a suntan on the coast. Yeah, today's high point is actually 36 foot, so that's 0 to 36 foot. Information panel here about the development of Southminster station, which is quite interesting. Google that for more information. Okay, here we are, 1 o'clock, not as shown on the church clock there. This is Bradwell-on-Sea, St Thomas's Church, and interestingly they call it Bradwell Juxta Nair, which is translated as pretty much the same thing, Bradwell-on-Sea, I believe. Interesting set of steps outside the front. Let's see if it's open. Yes, it is, and unusually carpeted. No leaded windows at this point. Got a couple there. Very nice pulpit. A few more leaded windows. And there you've got the name of the organ builder. Never seen that before. Lovely bit of kit he's built here. Wonderful. Interesting aroma in here. I suppose they've put that into the carpets because otherwise they'd smell musty. No bigwigs buried in the church, although there might be some under the carpet there. Little gallery at the back. Lots of English flags up around the area on my trip up here on the bus. Decent sized church with, as you can see, the old flag flying again. And there is the King's Head opposite. The King is clear. Henry VIII. Wonder why there's a link with him. The notes, what there is of them, indicate that that used to be a post office as well. Take that back, there's the post office. As I continue to walk up towards Bradwell waterside, which as you can see is volunteer maintained and shut right now, which is unfortunate for me. Lucky I bring my own stuff, and a GR post box, which you don't see much these days. Passing Down Hall care home referred to in the text. Pretty much cereal crops down here at the minute. Sign there for the power station, which is no longer. Kept the railway going for a few years, mind you, as that information panel said. So having just crossed Truss's Road here, we take this wild side walk diagonally across. So as I said, mainly cereals at the moment, this one being wheat in a small sized field. First sighting there of the decommissioned power station, Bradwell. I think if I recall it was 2002 from the information panel at the station. Odd years closed down, 22 now. Passing the Green Man pub, another possible lunchtime stop. Bradwell waterside. Now entering caravan territory. Opposite the yacht club. We're now joining the England coast path onto this grassy bank. Here we go. Oyster catchers over there. And half hum as well. Sewerage in there for sure. Definitely needs to be sorted out, whichever party gets into power. Disgusting. So there we have it. Probably the predominant feature on this walk today, unfortunately. It's a former power station. I wonder if that'll ever get brought back into service. Listening to all the talk about serving our own energy needs. Worrying. And then by contrast, very close by, an old pillbox reminding us of the strategic importance of this area. Lots of information again about that on the information panel outside the station. Google it if you're interested. And then I think this is the Blackwater, and across it more of Essex on the opposite bank. Some kind of jetty out there in the middle of the Blackwater. Very imposing. Horrible place. An old gun battery here, desecrated by today's modern hooligans. Look at that litter. Shocking. And 50 yards away you've got two bins. People are so lazy. And there you get the disposable barbecue. Again, couldn't be bothered to take it home. Fire risk as well. In a habitat that's probably used by nesting birds. Not much bird noise today though. The nuclear power station has now been superseded by another eyesore in Humble, these wind farms. But I won't go on too much about them because I have done in the past. Lots of wind farms in this area due to the low-lying land and the wind. It's coming up 2 o'clock, or just gone rather. I need to find somewhere to eat. I think it's going to be on one of these beachside. If I can find one that's on the leeward side of the wind. Even on this defence wall, they've mown down all the flowers that would ordinarily be there. I don't understand that either. It's fine mowing the top of the sea defence wall, the path, because very little will grow on it. But on the side, nah, needs some colour. Interesting lilac hue to whatever's growing in that field. And I wonder if it might be linseed. Certainly got that sort of look about it. Now this section's been left wild. Much better. The only trouble is, as with the logic of these councils, they haven't cut the top either, the path. They really are bizarre. The old sea defence wall been replaced here by a larger, more modern stone. Yeah, wonderful. This purple plant, according to Google, is common mallow. It certainly makes a difference when you've got, you know, your banks bordered by wildflowers. Delightful. I wonder if that's the ancient church over there that I'm headed for. One of the oldest churches in the country, St. Peter's. A ghostly collection of old barges here as we approach Sales Point, which has intrigued me for a long time. Reason being is that the Stranglers wrote a song called Time to Die, and in it they reference a Sales marsh and the disused airstrip. The song only has a few lines in it, but there are two references in it, i.e. Sales Point, which they confusingly refer to as Sales Marsh, and the disused airstrip, that make me think it was written about this area. One of them must have been here at some point, I feel. Just a little bit of background info as to why I'm here today. It's something that's intrigued me for a long time, and I needed to see for myself. Following a concrete top section here, as the old bird hide referred to in the notes comes into view, and St. Othona in the woods here somewhere. It is well out, and out at sea there another wind farm. Wonderful afternoon in the peace and quiet. No jet noise, just noises of nature. Sedge warbler in the background somewhere. First benches I've seen on this walk thus far. 3 of them I just passed. But I'm so near the church now, I'll carry on. That may well be a Othona community. And over here we've got Bradwell Bird Observatory. With its own wind turbine, which is all I can hear at the moment amongst the sounds of nature. Fantastic. Just like being back in the COVID times. So it looks like there was an information panel here once upon a time about St. Othona, Othana, for those that are interested. And there is St. Peter's Chapel. Yeah, there you have it. The entrance to Othona is over there. And the disused bird hide on stilts. Yep, broad beans here. One of my favourites. Oops. Interesting. Toilets and some kind of catering tent there. But no seats from what I can see. And I do need my lunch. So there is an information panel here about Othona, Roman fort and St. Cedd's monastery. St. Peter's Chapel stands over the ruined gate of a Roman fort. And hence we have St. Peter's Way across Essex. So research that on Google if you're interested. There is a shelter here, interestingly, which is good. Have my lunch in this. Very Christian of them. And amazingly, it is open. As I say, one of the oldest chapels in the country. And I've just seen swallows come out of there. So I'll be having lunch with them. Wonderful. Okay, 3:30, lunch has been had with the swallows, who continue to ignore me and feed their young. And I think that nest up there, the first one I saw, is for the adults. Kind of dummy nest, because I haven't been in it since. Anyway, I'm going to have another quick look in the chapel and then press on. There's an information corner here. A very simple place. And there's how it all started. AD 654. Visitor's book, which I always sign wherever I am. Amazing furniture. And there is the man, Cedd, or Cedd. Amazing. Very peaceful. All I'm hearing are natural sounds. The wind blowing through the door. The house sparrows, who in themselves are abundant here, I noticed as well. So as I said, never seen so many house martins and swallows in the one space. And house sparrows as well, so clearly everything is as it should be here. Amazing door. So you've got the new on the horizon out there, alongside this very ancient church, chapel. So the 3-mile extension or so that I had planned along that seawall and through that wind farm, actually, I'm going to give that a miss today, unfortunately, because of time constraints. It's crucial I get that 5 o'clock bus. It's now 3:45 and I've got 2 miles to walk, and it would be hit and miss if I did the extension in that hour and 15. Unlikely. So I won't risk it. I'll stick to the original GPX track, which is 6 3/4 miles, I think. Soon find out. Anyway, we continue down this lane. So you've got a number of paths here. Bradwell Waterside Marina, 3.5 miles. Salt Marsh Coast Trail, St Peter's Chapel. And for a grand walk, you can take the sea defence wall all the way to Burnham, 13.5 miles. Now, I have done a walk from Burnham in the past. And what's that ferrer's name? I've forgotten. Anyway, Done a couple of walks down that way. A parting shot of the old. And the new. As we walk inland now to Bradwell-on-Sea, which clearly is no longer on sea, like many places in England on the coast now. Solitary corn bunting there. So sad. Very scarce bird now. This track I'm presently following is, by the map anyway, an old Roman road, which is not surprising really. Love these broad beans on my left, plenty of them round here. There you go, as I mentioned earlier, St Peter's Way, which goes right across Essex. I've been on bits of it before. Don't know much about the Saltmarsh Coastal Trail or Coast Trail. Amazing. I still haven't seen one. Information panel about the Saltmarsh coast. And funny enough, the walking route I'm doing today. Quite a blot on the landscape when seen from a distance. Passing another apparently luxury caravan park. This looks like a residential one as opposed to a holiday one though. Might be open 12 months, but it doesn't mean to say it can be a permanent home. You have to have another address officially. It's not a park home by the looks of it. And there's the disused airfield that they refer to in the song. Looks like it's being used for storage now. Interesting. Well, as is mentioned briefly in the text, I've seen half a dozen cars or so on this lane. Quite a shock to the system really. Rest of the walk being so tranquil. But there is a verge, plenty of verge on either side, so no worries. And people aren't really speeding anyway. Passing the third pub of the day, a possible tea time stop, if it's open. And I question that. Looks remarkably dead. Yeah, looks like once upon a time it traded, but not now. Passing the cemetery, which is not attached to the church. Probably an overflow. So back at Bradwell Church, and I notice this artistic map. Very good. So here we are, back at St Martin's, the place where time stands still apparently. Certainly feels like it. So just a 6.5 mile walk today, 2.5 hours on the button. A short one, but a very pleasant one. Well worth doing in a place I've had my eye on for a while. I will have to come back down this way and do some of the longer walks. However, the bus driver, or the taxi driver effectively, because it was a mini bus, was telling me that they're reducing the timetable at the end of this month on his particular route. That's a D4. They're cutting it down from 5 buses or taxis a day to 2, and it makes doing these walks from Southminster station nigh on impossible. So I'll have to have a look into that to see how I can get back down here and do some other walks, perhaps from Tillingham round to Burnham, but let's see. Anyway, that particular walk was very good, highly recommended. Weather held out lovely. So yeah, Country Walking Magazine's Bradwell-on-Sea circular completed. I think I'll go and check the post office and see if it's got an ice cream available. Lovely. Till the next time.